insanely excited today because we are going to talk about Concrete and Gold, which is the latest release from Foo Fighters. It was released this September of 2017 and I'm so insanely excited to talk about it today. So yeah, let's just get talking! First off, I just want to say that I think it's a really cool album artwork that plays on the name, which is Concrete and Gold, which I also think is a really cool name. And it has concrete and gold like textures. And this right here, it took me so long to realize, but this forms an F, or two Fs, which is Foo Fighters. And that's really cool. I think it's so cool. And these songs on this album are TShirt, Run, Make It Right, The Sky Is a Neighborhood, La-Di-Da, Dirty Water, Arrows, and Happy Ever After, 0 Hour, and Sunday Rain, The Line, and Concrete and Gold. So let's get talking! So I think Concrete and Gold can be sort of characterized as an album of choirs and choruses because Foo Fighters really had a fun time with creating layers of voices, not only as singing lyrics but also as lying and oohing and eyeing and everything like that, to make the voice actually be an instrumental rather than just being a lyrical formulation or so. And I think that's really cool to incorporate voices as an actual instrument and not only as a sort of voice to sort of make the lyrics sound or so. But in terms of the choirs, I think it's done right, and I think it lifts a lot of the choruses. In, for example, Concrete and Gold, the chorus is actually just lifted to a whole new level because of the choirs. And if more of the song, personally for my sake, if more of the song of Concrete and Gold had a little bit more of the chorus vibe to it, it would probably make its way up on my favorite list of the songs, but it's not up there among my favorites, which sort of leads us smoothly into talking about my favorite songs. Yeah! So my very favorite song of the album is TShirt, which is the opening song, and I really like it. The first time I heard it, I was out and about just walking and doing everything, and I just had to stop doing everything I was doing because it just blew my mind completely, because I love it so much. The easy sort of just a guitar and just singing in the opening of such a big record, it's so appropriate, I find, and it's also done really good, and I really like it. And the king-queen parallel talking is really nicely done, and I think that when you talk about I don't want to be king, you have these lyric lines that sort of they are a little bit shorter, so they sort of fit into this little box. And just when you have like established that this is the box that we're going to follow, you say I don't want to be queen, just trying to keep my t-shirt clean. That sentence breaks this box, and just as it breaks it, it just breaks the whole song into this drum madness of choirs and drums and eyeing and wing and just everything. Like, oh my god, it's so cool. It's really cool. And it sort of just sharpens into this ending that goes perfectly into Run, which is my next favorite song. Run is just so cool because it starts so slow and so clean and so I'm not sure what word to use for it. It starts sårt, like wounded. It starts almost like you're wounded, and it's just like wake up, run for your life with me, and it's so nice. And then the drum comes in, and it just when it all kicks off, it sounds like your speakers have already been blown off. because this singing in Run, or the screaming rather, is so heavy that it sounds like your speakers have actually gone out, and I think it's a really cool song, and I just love it so much. My next favorite song is Arrows because of mainly the time signature and the lyrics. I really like the lyrics of the song, but the time signature of the 3-3-2, as far as I count personally, I really like that crooked, like parting or so, and I think that crooked lines, as in this just trying to keep my t-shirt clean, which is a little bit crooked, that breaks the mold, and this 3-3-2 time signature also breaks the mold. I think that a lot of elements on this record are actually mold breaking, and I think that might be as a result of Foo Fighters working with a new producer or so, because as I have heard from Dave Grohl, they seem to have worked with a new person, like really close cooperation on this record with a new person that somehow has a different genre or so as his main thing, and that really has affected the record, and I think the result is maybe a little bit crooked things here and there, which breaks this typical pattern, and I think that for me personally is what makes the record stand out a little bit, because it's not like you count to 4 every single song. You have this perfect shaping of the lyrics. You have sometimes it breaks off and it's too long and it's too short and it comes in on a weird time and so, and I think that's just really cool. So Arrows is my new favorite, my third favorite song. My favorite song number 4, 5 and 6 are actually really close to another. It's The Sky is a Neighborhood, I think is my 4th favorite, and La Di Da is my 5th favorite, and Dirty Water is my 6th favorite, but it's really close between those 3, and I think that's going to change, like however my daily mood is or so, and I really like those songs. And I have to say that when I saw that one of the songs was called La Di Da, I just immediately thought of Rick and Morty, because I've watched those a lot lately, and I think one of my favorite quotes from Rick and Morty, of the comic ones or so, of the not so like existential crisis quotes, my favorite ones of the more funny ones is La Di Da, because I've never heard it before, and just the way he says it, it's just golden. So I have some like, I was just so excited when I saw it. It was called La Di Da, and I think it's a really cool song. The lyrics are not my favorite thing in it, but the energy in the chorus is just wild. And there comes again with the choirs and choruses sort of type of album. I think it's a really cool chorus in that song. As well as Dirty Water also has a really cool chorus. But Dirty Water also has another feel to it. It's a lot more clean, ironically, but yeah, I really like Dirty Water as well. And The Sky is a Neighborhood, the effect that I really like there is that the singing actually sounds like it's in another room, which is really nice, because the theme of the song is The Sky is the Neighborhood, which could seem like this we're not alone type of thing. I'm not sure if that's the intent or so, but that's what I take from it, is that we're not being alone in this big universe, and the fact that it sounds like he's singing from another room is really nice to sort of just wrap it all up in a really nice little package. So the 4 last songs, which are now Happy Ever After, Sunday Rain, The Line and Concrete and Gold, are sort of where I draw the line on where my favorite songs are on this record, because those 4 are not my favorites, They have some really cool elements here and there, but I feel like those are a little bit more not after my taste, my favorite, and I think that they don't bring anything like that new to the record. My favorite one of those four is maybe Sunday Rain, but it would be Concrete and Gold if the singing in Concrete and Gold was a little bit more like energized. I would really like if Concrete and Gold as the song, not the album, but as the song of Concrete and Gold would have a little bit more like the vocals were on, and then rather have this in another room feel, like the sky is a neighborhood, rather than the singing actually like when you sing the notes you actually don't use that much of your voice. I would rather have that you use all of your voice and then you make it sound like it's in another room. But the chorus in Concrete and Gold, oh my god, I love it so much. And there you have that the chorus is cool and the choirs are making it cool again, and it's just amazing because the choir just lifts it to another height for me, I think. And I really like the feel of Concrete and Gold because it has a really Pink Floyd feel to it, and I would love if some new music makers or so would sort of pick up on this Pink Floyd, like a little bit crooked, a little bit weird, but somehow still works kind of vibe. And I think that Concrete and Gold does that, and I really like it because of it. But the singing in the verse are sort of making it climb a little bit down on my list in terms of favorites. But oh my god, this record has so many great songs, it doesn't really matter. One of my absolute favorite things about Concrete and Gold is that the crooked like timings is really cool. It brings a new life to it because if you have made a song before, or if you have listened to a song before, or someone has performed a song before, and they do the timing differently, you can hear that the character of the song changes rapidly just by moving the lyrics or the time signature just one note or one bar or one anything can really change it. And I think that the Concrete and Gold record experiments a lot with different ways of time switches and time signatures. And some of my examples are when you listen to La Di Da, the intro, and when you go from the intro into the main song, or what you can call it, there is a little bit of a crooked timing there, and I think it just works perfectly. It's one of those elements that make that song like climb up on my list of favorites, because it's this little detail, it's this little note, this little like pushing or forskyvelse that makes it a little bit different. It's not so predictable, and I really like when music is unpredictable but not weird in the sense that it's difficult to listen to. And La Di Da, it's not at all difficult to listen to, but it has this weird little what happened there element to it, and I really like that. Another example is Arrows, which has this 3-3-2 counting. I've spent so many times trying to count it, and the most natural way of counting it for my sake is to count to 3 and then to 3 and then to 2. And I think it's such a cool way of splitting a song in terms of a time signature feel to it, and I think it just lifts the song to another new height, and the lyrics has already lifted it quite far enough, so it's a really cool element. And another example in terms of time crookedness is in The Sky is a Neighborhood. If you hear at, I think it's 1 minute and 45 seconds is the first time you hear it. It's this bend, which first in itself is a little bit crooked because you can hear the notes in itself is not a perfect bend. You don't meet, you just stop like just there. the timing of this band is also a little bit crooked. And when I say crooked, I don't mean that it doesn't fit, because it does fit. It's just unpredictable, or not the most standard way of doing it. It's not crooked in the terms of not fitting, it's crooked in the way of unpredictable, and I really enjoy it. And in terms of lyrics, I've picked out 3 favorite quotes from 3 different songs, and yeah, let's just check them out. So the first line is from The Sky is a Neighborhood, and it is "Heart is a storybook, a star burned out." It's the third and fourth line in the song, and I really like it. I think it sounds so cool. The next line is from Arrows, and it actually changes in the song, because one chorus is actually not pointed at her, it's pointed at you. So in one chorus it's fear where her heart should be, and in the next chorus or so it's fear where your heart should be. And I think the switch is really nice, but also the replacement of heart with fear is a really strong way of saying how fearful someone might feel or so, and I think it's a really nice phrasing. The next one is a little bit longer. It's from Happy Ever After, 0 Hour, and it's cracks in the floorboards are deep from dancing to the sound of candles burning out. And I just loved it. It sounds just so... You can just picture it, and it's just so nice. I really like it. So in trying to keep things relatively short, I think this might be a little bit of a long video, but in trying to keep things a little bit short, if you haven't checked out Concrete and Gold by Foo Fighters, I really highly recommend it, because it's an album that I really love. It has so many cool elements, and I think that Foo Fighters is cooperating with a lot of talented people on this record, and I just give all my credit to them, because it's a really good record. And yeah, I hope you'll check it out and let me know your opinions, or let me know if you have read any good reviews of it, because I really want to know other people's opinion of it, because I have not checked out a lot of them, because I wanted this to be like my opinions 100%. So I'm going to check out some other opinions now, and I might talk more about Concrete and Gold if there is something more you'd like to know about it. And yeah, let me know what you think, and let me know your favorite song, and I'll see you next time.